Get ready for a Kirklands inspired fall DIY at Dollar Tree prices. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So I have been so excited because all the fall things are finally at Dollar Tree. I was really excited to see all the fun fall and Halloween decor out at Dollar Tree, and I was excited to get crafting. So today I have a Kirklands dupe for you. You know I love to browse the catalogs, get ideas, and make the items on a budget with Dollar Tree items with that same vibe that you would get from the Kirklands items. So I hope you enjoy it. Also, don't forget to find me on my social media platforms. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram, and also you can check out my merch store for Craft, Eat, Repeat merch, as well as just some fun craftiness. If you're into that kind of thing, there's lots there for you to look at. And with the holidays approaching, you might see something that you'd like as a gift. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Everyone, hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And after the video is over, head down to the comments and let me know what's your favorite thing about fall. Is it the pumpkin spice? Is it the football? Is it the hay rides? Let me know what you're looking forward to down in the comments. All right, guys, it's time to craft. For today's DIY, I wanted to try to recreate something similar to this pumpkin that I saw in the Kirklands catalog. As you guys know, I love wood beads, I love twine, but I did not love this price tag for almost $37. With a few tweaks to make it fit my decor and preferences, I was able to recreate it at a really reasonable price. What we're going to need for this DIY is this wooden pumpkin sign, these metal letters, both from Dollar Tree, some wood beads, I already had some on hand. Then we're going to need some white or off-white paint. We're going to need some brown paint, and I actually ended up using the Waverly Antiquing wax instead of this brown paint here, and a little bit of orange paint. Of course, you'll also need hot glue, scissors, and I did use a little bit of ribbon, but that is totally optional. We're going to start by taking the hanger off of this pumpkin, and we're also going to remove the bow and this little metal leaf. Now you're going to want to hang on to that because we will be putting it back on our pumpkin at the end of the DIY. Next, I'm going to just turn the pumpkin over instead of having to sand off all that glitter on the front side, and I'm going to use this chalk paint. I use the color plaster because it's just what I had on hand, but a white paint would do as well, and I'm just going to cover the entire pumpkin in this white paint. You want to make sure to also get the edges of the pumpkin because you'll be able to see that when we hang it on the wall. Now we're going to just take that and set it to the side to dry. While it's drying, I'm going to get this container of metal words. Now this said welcome, harvest, and thankful. And the original inspiration for this actually said welcome, but I already have a welcome sign, so I decided to take the word thankful out and use that one. I'm going to paint the entire thing orange, and with this acrylic paint on the metal, it did take me 3 or 4 good coats before it was completely covered, and I liked the color that it was. Now once the pumpkin is dry, I decided to use this darker color Waverly wax in the color Antique, and that's simply because it matched my decor a little bit better. You can use a lighter brown if you want to, and that would be a little more similar to the wood in the inspiration piece. So in order to make this faux wood finish, we're going to make vertical strokes up and down the pumpkin, and wherever we change directions you're going to get a little knot in the wood. So we're going to use that to our advantage to make it look like faux wood with little knots all throughout. Make sure once again that you paint the sides and that you get it the color that you want it to be. Next, we're going to use the little indentations on the pumpkin to just draw out some lines. Now, the inspiration piece basically had the beads kind of on the inside perimeter of the pumpkin, but I decided that I wanted my beads to be on the very outside. I just thought that would be a little nicer, and so that's what I decided to do. You can do it exactly like the inspiration piece if you want to. But I just drew out a few curved lines, and then I used that line to put my hot glue on, and I attached some beads. Make sure you draw lightly enough that you can change it if you need a mistake, but dark enough so that you can see it. And as you can see here, I did not get it exactly straight, but that's okay. I just covered it up with the sign and a little bit of hot glue, and it was good to go. Next, I'm going to follow along the outside perimeter of the pumpkin, and I'm just going to add some wood beads around there. Now, I got these wood beads in a multi-pack that I got off of Amazon when everything was shut down, and it had a few different sizes. I didn't think I had enough of one size to do the entire pumpkins, so I did some smaller beads on the inside lines and a slightly larger bead on the outside. However, if you're able to get to a Michael's, they do have large containers of beads, and they're about $9, but if you wait until you have a coupon, you can get it for about $4 or $5, which is an awesome deal for a good amount of wooden beads. So if you have the option, you can do that. They also have wood beads at Dollar Tree. They're not these exact ones. They have different shapes and sizes, but it could be really pretty. You know, you can use your imagination and make your pumpkin look really unique. So by now, my thankful word was nice and dry, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle of the pumpkin. Now, this metal is not all that sturdy, and I realized that it was sagging a bit in the middle, so I just took a bead and I put it right in the middle of the K from thankful, and that just gave it a little something to rest on so that it was nice and straight all the way across. And I did make sure to glue my word kind of near where that little mistake was that I made in my lines, where it wasn't quite as straight as I wanted it to be. It just distracts attention away from it, and I still think it looks beautiful. My mom came and looked at it and she didn't even notice, so I call that a success. Next, I just grabbed some ribbon that I had. I just had just enough of this buffalo check ribbon, which I think goes really nicely with the wood and the orange. And then I took a few pieces of twine because I just thought it would look really nice together and fit into my decor. Since I love wood beads and twine, there's just a lot of it all over my house. So I just took this and I wrapped it around the stem of the pumpkin. Another option would be to tie a little bow, and then you could just glue that right into the base of the stem. I think that would be a little more similar to the inspiration piece, but I thought it was cute tied around, so I just did that. And I'm just going to add my middle leaf right back onto my pumpkin. Now, if you wanted to buy an extra pumpkin, you could have 2 leaves like the inspiration piece, or they do have little porcelain pumpkins at Dollar Tree right now that have some cute little metal leaves on them if you wanted it to have 2 like the inspiration piece. I love how this came out. I love the natural wood, the natural fibers of the jute, and I love how much it matches this adorable little lantern that I made a while back. I do have instructions for that DIY, and I will make sure to leave it down in the description box below, but I have just been switching out the greenery for every season, and it just looks perfect with this little pumpkin. Okay, so the treat today is kind of a fall favorite, but to be honest with you guys, we eat this stuff all year round. It's Chex Mix with some delicious warm spices, and it's just yummy. My kids gobble it up. I have to like ration how much I make it because I will eat an entire bowl of it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay guys, it's time to eat. Now, this is a fan favorite in our house. It's super quick, easy to make, and it is delicious. I'm going to start out with some cinnamon Chex Mix, and at this point I usually do add some nuts. My kids can have almonds, but no other types of nuts, and they don't really care for almonds. So I'm going to put those on the side. Then I'm going to take some butter, and I'm going to add some brown sugar, some cinnamon. You can also add cloves, nutmeg, ginger, any kind of warm spice you want at this point. And I'm going to add some maple syrup. Now, I have in the past added honey instead of maple syrup, and I do believe that the recipe I started with actually calls for corn syrup, so that's another option. I'm going to take that, put it in the microwave, melt it down, and then once it's cool enough for me to handle, I'm going to pour it onto my Chex Mix, and I'm going to mix it up until it's nice and evenly coated. Then I'm going to take that and put it in the microwave for a few moments, and when it comes out, it's ready to add some more delicious goodies. Now, these are just some dehydrated apple chips that I'm going to crush up into the Chex Mix. And really anything that you like in the fall would be good in this. I've done it with craisins, which is a really good combination. You could just use pumpkin spice M&Ms. Oh, those are so good in this. Anything that has that nice fall flavor you could add in. I just put it down on some parchment paper so that it could cool off before I did this next step. You don't want to add anything that might melt while the cereal is still warm. So once it's completely cooled, I'm going to add some yogurt covered raisins. But like I said, you could also do just plain craisins, or yogurt covered craisins would also be really yummy. And I'm adding some M&Ms. I do think these were pumpkin spice M&Ms, but regular chocolate M&Ms also taste really good in this. And you guys, that is it. It comes together really quickly, and you will not believe how munchable this is. I really have to slow myself down whenever I make this. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's DIY and the treat. Don't forget to head down to the comments and let me know what's your favorite thing to do in the fall. Also, give this video a big thumbs up, share it with your friends if you think they'd like it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.